Welcome to Hidden Costs, where we uncover the price you pay for the things you think you simply cannot live without. Last year, you probably watched a stranger rip open a metallic silver mailer, cheap clothes spilling out like treasure. Millions of us watched $2,000 hauls, commenting literal goals, so jealous, like it was a dream life. But here's the glitch in the matrix. A huge chunk of that dream haul gets shoved back into a return box by Tuesday. Because they're not only selling you fabric, they're feeding pure dopamine hits straight into an exhausted brain. In a world that feels out of control, add to cart becomes a tiny remote, one button that makes you feel powerful again. And the rush feels cheap until the invoice shows the real total: anxiety, emptiness, regret, costs that never get listed. So today we're going inside the box addiction, why we crave the anticipation, and why the package can matter more than the product. Your eye locks in, your brain loops, and the loading icon becomes a rhythm. Wait, refresh, hope, repeat. This isn't a random habit, it's a mechanical trap, carefully engineered so your attention keeps paying the bill. To understand how we got here, we have to rewind, back before a shopping trip turned into a full-time performance. Around 2008, hauls were often simple: one small bag, one shy smile, a low-res webcam, no pressure to win. It felt innocent, grainy footage of real life, not a polished identity you had to purchase to be acceptable. Then we fast-forward to now. Neon, speed, jump cuts, shopping transformed into a digital ritual built for endless replay. The crinkle is the bet, the reveal is the spin, and the try-on is the jackpot because the format is a slot machine. The algorithm loves slot machine loops, predictable patterns that keep your eyes locked and your thumb ready to scroll. Even if you don't buy anything, your brain buys the fantasy, imagining yourself inside the glow of that sequined life. And the system quietly learns you, what you pause on, what you replay, what makes your face tighten for half a second. Your phone becomes a black mirror, reflecting what you fear you lack, surrounded by floating buy buttons like a swarm. That's how we moved from sharing to performative consumption, where the volume matters more than quality, meaning, or utility. But why does this work so well on smart people, tired people, stressed people, on almost everyone? Because the answer is chemical. Deep in the brain, where craving feels like logic and impulse feels like identity. Science check. Dopamine often spikes higher in anticipation than in ownership. Waiting can feel better than having. That's why out for delivery can hijack your whole day, your body tense, your mind already tasting the reward. Then the box opens, golden light for 1 second, until it turns cold and dull, because the mystery dies instantly. So we start buying aesthetics, clean girl, quiet luxury, like outfits are shortcuts to becoming someone unbothered. We're not buying shirts, we're buying a version of ourselves that isn't stressed, tired, or quietly falling apart. Celebrities and top-tier influencers make it look like a subscription. Just pay and the vibe arrives at your door. But it's a trap. Retail therapy for a deep wound that needs a totally different kind of medicine. We use cardboard boxes to fill silence that scares us, stacking packages like a fortress against our own thoughts. And slowly, identity sticks to objects, price tags turning into labels, until you measure your worth the way a company measures you. Imagine a room filling with boxes until there's no space left for you. That's what clutter does to the mind. Now we have to face the ugly part, where all this cheap and new actually ends up once the camera turns off. Ultra-fast fashion doesn't need durability. If the zipper snaps in 2 days, the system wins because you come back again. Returns and defects move at industrial speed, sorted like numbers, tossed like nothing because restocking is too expensive. Many returns don't go back on a shelf. They go somewhere darker because destruction can be cheaper than resale. Shredding, dumping, burning. Perfectly new fabrics reduced to dust so the cycle can keep spinning without friction. The planet pays the difference. Fuel, water, emissions, costs that don't disappear just because you got a discount. And the algorithm boosts hauls because they convert, because a bingeable story sells better than an ad you can skip. It targets your weakest moment, like crosshairs on a wallet, waiting for stress, loneliness, or boredom to drop your guard. In this transaction, you're not only the customer, your attention is the harvest, and your insecurity is the crop. The consequences pile up in real space, mountains of discarded clothing sitting under heat waves like a monument to impulse. Behind every cheap shirt is a network, data mining, supply chains, labor exploitation, hidden so the screen can stay pretty. That $5 tag isn't the full price. Flip it over and you see the real bill, the future.
If this feels overwhelming, here's the good news. There's a way out, and it doesn't require perfection. You don't need to live in a beige box. You just need to reclaim your focus and stop letting the feed drive you. Try the 72-hour rule. If you want it, wait 3 full days before you click. Let urgency evaporate on purpose. The dopamine cools, the mind steadies, and logic comes back online, quietly asking, "Did I ever need this?" Next time, hold the item and ask one honest question in the mirror. Am I buying a shirt or am I buying relief? Are you trying to soothe a bad day at work with a purchase that will only sparkle for 5 minutes? Buy for function, not for the hit. Choose fewer things with real texture, real purpose, real staying power. Imagine the space you reclaim, clean shelves, clear floors, sunlight when you stop chasing the next shiny package. Real freedom is not needing a delivery truck to pull up to your house to make you feel whole. Put the phone face down, step away, and stop feeding the algorithm your vulnerabilities like a daily offering. Because life gets wider the moment you stop living inside a checkout page. Space returns, breath returns, time returns. The journey from mindless consumption to conscious living isn't instant, but every step away from the loop is real power. Learn to enjoy stillness again, books, quiet, rain on the window, moments that don't ask for your credit card. The real high comes when you realize the system doesn't own your moods or your bank account anymore. Stop being a spectator to someone else's consumption, turn off the noise and become the main character in your own creation. And choose what actually matters: friends, warmth, conversation, presence that no algorithm can ship to your door. Today, we traveled from the hook of the hall to the psychology of addiction and the harsh truth of waste. And we learned the most important part: you can walk away and still be enough exactly as you are. Let the plastic bag lose its power, let the impulse fall, and let the cycle end with you. Take a breath, close the tab, and look around. Most of what you truly need to be okay is already here. Build a life that feels safe at home, at dusk, in the quiet, without needing a package to prove you're alive. If you want more deep dives into the hidden machinery behind modern life, subscribe and we'll keep uncovering the truth. This has been Hidden Costs, helping you see the invisible price tags on your life. See you in the next video.